Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Master Shah Dao Center Toronto Facebook page. We are so grateful to have you here with us today, whenever you're watching this video, whether you're joining us live or on the recording. And we have someone very special with us here today. We are very excited. And she is a Tao healer herself, and she is also the founder of the Wealthy Goddess movement. And so we are going to be connecting today with Vanessa Ferraro to learn how she transformed her life and her business and service with these practices and techniques. So welcome, Vanessa. We're so excited to have you here with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. I'm really happy to be here and to share.
Amazing. We are happy to have you here. And for all of those who are joining from around the world, we welcome you to please share in your comments if you have questions, if you'd like to share anything at all. We'd love to hear from you. So we welcome you to share in the comments where are you joining us from, and if you have any questions for Vanessa. So we are very excited to be connecting today because you have quite an inspirational and remarkable story in sharing, putting these practices into practice in your own life. So we'd love to hear a little bit from you about your journey with the Tao healing, with the Tao practices, and how they have impacted your life and your service.
It's a big question. It's so many parts of my life. But I guess I'll start with the fact that prior to finding the Tao wisdom teachings, I was already very active in the conscious spiritual community in Toronto. And I had been practicing Reiki energy, meditation, Kundalini yoga, amongst other things, healthy eating. So I was already inside of a community that shared so much incredible wisdom and traditions and lineages, which attracted me, of course, to the Tao wisdom teachings. And I was already kind of open-hearted and always looking to add more tools to my toolbox and to empower myself and my clients and students at the time. I was a full-time healer and Reiki master teacher. So when I found the Tao teachings, I was already open to a certain degree and really curious to see how it could support me in what I was already doing. And I was really excited and really happy to discover for myself over many years how powerful these tools are and how effective and simple and easy and applicable they can be for anybody, including myself and my clients and my students. So it's really helped me to expand my service, which has been one of the most important things to me in my life, is to really find my purpose, live my purpose, embody it. And the Tao has really done that for me. And the Tao wisdom teachings have aligned me much more deeply to my heart, my soul, and my service. So does that answer your question?
Oh, yes. This definitely answers our question and much more. It paints an amazing picture. And it's just really, 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 interesting to hear how you had experienced so many different modalities and been very open and, connected. And yet there was something about these that really, it sounds like anyway, took everything that you were doing in your life to like a whole other level. So what was it that kind of, stuck out about this practice? Or did you notice any difference in the output, like in the output or like in what was happening in your life when you integrated these practices?
Yeah. I love that question because I feel, and I'm just going to go into my heart and let my heart speak. I'm trying to come up with the right answer. But the truth is, I've always had a passion and a desire to know the truth about things. Like I've always been looking for truth. I used to be a proud truth seeker. And that's how I felt when I found energy healing and Reiki and different modalities. I felt like, oh my God, this is so true. Like everybody needs to know this. Like, and I've always been that person that when I find something I love to share it with people. And so when I found Dao wisdom and practices and technology and healing, what really stood out to me was how grounded, how clear, and how simple the wisdom and practices were. With a lot of the lineages that I have studied and different paths to truth, to seek truth, there's been layers that are very much left to interpretation, right? So it's like, it's how we interpret it becomes a truth. What I loved about the Tao wisdom teachings is that they're so clear, so concise, and so grounded in, you know, for example, Chinese medicine, in the body, the meridian points, the acupuncture points, the organs, the systems, like the science behind it helped me to put to rest a lot of like uncertainties, and actually answered so many questions that I had with other teachers that never got answered. And that was what was like, oh my God, like that's so cool. Like, this is not something of like, how can I say this? It's not just like the angels' messages and what, you know, like your guides might say. This is like very clear, concise, and makes complete sense to anybody who's willing to listen. Do you know what I mean? So that's what really attracted me, was like, this is grounded in real science. And that makes it easier for me to share with people who are maybe not as open to spiritual wisdom and teachings. And it has really helped to bridge, I believe, for myself and my community, science and spirituality together as one in this beautiful way, which is just makes so much sense. Actually, I didn't realize to the workshop that's coming in. So it's like, yeah, it's science and it's spirit, and combining them and understanding them as one has been so mind-blowing for me and heart-opening. Yeah.
Wow, this is like such a beautiful sharing and transition into the workshop that's coming up. And it is something that is so heart opening. It feels like in many, you know, like the mass consciousness of humanity and, you know, in the world, that, you know, science and spirituality can be often seen as very separate. Mm-hmm. So unifying them, like you're sharing, is totally like transformative. And like you're sharing, it's so rooted and grounded in science, in our body, and in so much more. And so I guess my question would be, for anyone that's watching and they're intrigued, like, what would you say to them in terms of maybe, you know, joining this upcoming workshop? We also have an introduction if people are maybe curious and they would just want to attend a free event and like learn some more information. But what would you share with those people who are kind of curious and they might want to hear from you, like, you know, what your perspective is on joining an event like this and the impact it can have in your life?
Yeah, it's an incredible opportunity to learn some very fundamental basic teachings of the Tao, like the law of Shen Qi Jing, which is explained much more deeply in that class and in a lot of the programs that the Wealthy Goddess movement offers as well. But to bring it back to the course, I actually haven't done this particular workshop. It's the first time they're doing this one, the way that they're doing it. So I'm excited to attend. But for someone who's considering it and wanting to know what I would think about it or how I would support it, I mean, I'll be honest, we're in a very transformative time on Mother Earth, to say the least. There's a lot of things that are shifting and are no longer applicable. Like, there's a certain way that we've been running in the world, whether you want to talk about that being, you know, the patriarchic rule or all kinds of different layers to this. And language, I guess, is the main thing here, is the language. The words that we use to describe things gets gets to be loved inside of the spirit and science of success. Because what you were saying with science and spirit, the main thing here that's not matching is the language, and it's the words. So when you take out the interpretation of these words and you bring it back to the basic laws of Shem Qi Jing, universal laws of soul, heart, consciousness, energy, matter, you bring it back to the laws of your organ systems, bodies, you bring it back to the laws of how the universe works, and you kind of look at, well, the way I run business and the way that I create my life is completely transforming and shifting, and I need to adapt to this new energy and this new frequency, and these practices and teachings can help you do that in a really simple way. I don't think that business is going to be run the same way it's being run now. I don't think that politics, science, community building, society as a whole is going to be run the same way. I think things are shifting and changing. And the more that we can bring these simple, easy teachings to our life and to the way we operate our business, the more ease, the more success, the more love, the more forgiveness, compassion, community, harmony is going to be available to all of us. So that's what I would say if you're thinking about, should I do this or not? Such an easy workshop. It's short, it's not long. It gets you the fundamental teachings and practices. So it's a really entry level point to discover more about Dao wisdom. And I think it's a great opportunity. I'm actually have a bunch of women in my group that are going to be joining because we want to apply this to our lives and to our business and to our service. It's just such an exciting time to do so.
Amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much. And it is such an exciting time, and we welcome everyone who is watching. If you're interested, just join our free introduction to learn more, or if you're a solid yes, then you can just register. We have all the information in the description. And before we wrap up today, is there any kind of like final words you'd love to share with our viewers? Anything about this wisdom, about how your life is now and how you've been integrating it, or just anything that you would like to share with our viewers?
In full transparency to the viewers, to anybody on my page or my community who's watching this, I speak to healers a lot. Like, that's my background. I was in the healing arts and studying different types of healing and different lineages and stuff like that. But I think this message goes for anybody and everybody, which is I've been personally having, moments of complete overwhelm over what is occurring right now on the planet, and trying to process and compute what's happening, and also trying to tune in and listen to what really matters, because there's just so much information out there about the future, about the present, about what's coming, what's happening. And sometimes I have felt scared. I've felt fear. I've felt worry. I've felt overwhelmed and unsure. And I cannot tell you, and I'm going to try not to get emotional, stay in my dome. I just cannot tell you how grateful I am to have these tools. Because I think of people out there right now that do not have the tools to clear themselves, to bring clarity to their heart, to their mind, to their body, who don't have the tools to ground themselves into their own truth and into their own heart, who don't have the tools. They don't know how do you clear fear? Like, what do you mean? I can get rid of my worry? How does that work? Like, there's so many people that don't know how to do that, or the tools that they've been using don't seem to be enough. So if there's anybody that's watching that's in that space, I just encourage you so much to take an action and connect with the Dao Center in some way, whether that be through this workshop or through the free Facebook group, or through the center online. Somehow connect to this energy, to this vibration, to this frequency, to this transmission, so that you can support yourself to heal and to anchor yourself, because these are very challenging times for all of us. And I've been doing this work for years, and I still am like, dealing with stuff. I'm still human. So I just I felt called to share that because it's been really present with me lately. My gratitude for knowing this exists and being able to use these practices and tools and share them with my family and friends. It's been life-saving for me many times. So that's what I would share as my final remarks. And then, of course, to just continue to love and to stay in love and to stay in peace and to stay in harmony, because that's the fundamental teachings of the Master Sha TaoCentreToronto. And yeah, that's what we all want in the world, is more love, peace, and harmony. So
absolutely. Beautiful. I have no final words to follow up to this.
You're the bestest. We love you, Alexia.
Love you too, Vanessa. And love you, everyone who's joined us. We have people joining us from India, from London, from Toronto. More people who will be joining us on the recording. And we're so grateful to you, Vanessa, for taking the time to connect with us, for sharing your heart. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Join in Spirit Science of Success. And as Vanessa shared so beautifully, connect with us. Connect with us. Join our events. Join our Facebook group. Message us. We love you. We love you. We love you. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.